In business, there's no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. When you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on. Because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else: your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
All right, we're back. Mitch back tomorrow. Pauly and Dustin. Derek Stevens in half an hour, and surreal piece of theater in 15 minutes with a bizarre press conference in Toronto. And we'll get to Game 2 tonight, Wild and Colorado. 2 series start tonight. I'm surprised Detroit's favored. The issues they had with Orlando, and Orlando blew the series even though they had a key injury. Full marks to come back and rally down 3-1. They're laying 3.5 tonight at home against Cleveland. It also shows what because Cleveland, all year long, they had a strong power rating and were right there to win the East with the favorites. And they limp in, even though they won in 7 against Toronto, but that was a war, and Toronto had 2 key injuries. We all know the Donovan Mitchell story. He's been on a 50-win team or more 6 times. Never made a conference final. Atkinson on the hot seat. I think he's got to win this series to keep his job. Also, the Bickerstaff story where he got the extension and he was let go in Cleveland because of his postseason issues and couldn't go deep in the postseason. The game leaders and the series leaders are awesome here because you have 2 dynamic players who can score in Mitchell and Cade. But so much of Detroit's success is going to come down to Cade, and that's why you said he's the most important guy remaining in the playoffs because of how much he does and how they lean on him because you don't have a strong number 2 option with the Pistons.
Yeah, and I just don't see how Cleveland takes him out of the game. He just is so good at getting looks to the rack, and the 3-point shooting isn't amazing for Cade Cunningham, but it's good enough. The whole linchpin of this whole series comes down to Jalen Duren. If Jalen Duren can be the guy he was in the regular season, who was a scorer and those lobs were there with Cade, everything's different for Detroit because I wanted Detroit as a dog. I didn't bet it since they're the favorite here. I was kind of surprised they were the favorite. I think 3.5 feels like a little bit long for a game 1 where Cleveland just has so many more guys that you can trust down the stretch that can hit shots. The reason Detroit's favorite has nothing to do with talent, has nothing to do with ability or depth or roster construction. It's mental makeup. The bookmakers are looking at Cleveland saying, this team doesn't have championship mettle. How can they be the favorite in this series when they're going to have to go on the road? And Donovan Mitchell has had some road issues this year. I like Mitchell under 8.5 rebounds and assists combined, under in 5 out of 7 in round 1. Versus Detroit, he had 9 in one game, 3 in another, so that's 1 in 1. And then his assists are way down when he goes on the road, 5.4 versus 6.1 at home.
They're going to play the math game because they take a lot more attempts from 3, and Detroit doesn't shoot a lot, and they don't have a lot of guys that can knock down threes. And that's where they, on average, 8.3 more attempts per game with what Cleveland's looking at opposed to Detroit. And Detroit doesn't have a lot of shooters. But this goes back to your trust again, because then I'm trying to count on Harden, Strus, and these other guys, and you should have had more success on the boards as well. You took on a Raptors team that was 24th in rebounding, and you still had to go 7, and that was hairy as you were down in the third quarter as well. Cade is minus $2 to lead the series in points. Game 1, he's $1.10.
That feels a little cheap.
Yes, it does.
I don't love looking at laying a price here, but you're laying a short one with Cade to lead the game in scoring. I don't think it's Mitchell. I don't think it's Harden. So after that, it has to be Cade. He's at home. It's also going to be a low-scoring game. If Cade Cunningham has 35 to 39 points, which feels like something he does pretty regularly, I think he leads the game in scoring. The unders 9-3 last 12 meetings. Atkinson 7-8 against the spread, 11-4 to the over in the playoffs with Cleveland. Bickerstaff First game of a playoff series with the Pistons, 0-2 covering, 1-5 against the spread, 4-2 to the under in his career in that role.
2-2 head-to-head, regular season. This is big with the physicality of Detroit, that they can out-muscle them down low. As Orlando was 45% in the paint in that series. And how they, that's one thing that went right for them defensively. Cade is minus $5, most assists in the series, most threes. Mitchell's the favorite, plus 165. Duncan Robinson, plus 250, along with Harden. Cade plus 550, and your guy Max Strus is 11-1.
Ooh, that's it.
Yeah, Harris was great in Game 7. He's 30-1.
Yeah, you're asking a lot out of a 35-year-old. We're 15 years into this. We've never seen that version of Tobias Harris in a big game. Cunningham second behind Embiid in usage rate in the first round. In the playoffs, time of possession, he's had the ball in his hands for 9.8 minutes per game, 24% of his minutes on the floor. That's up from the regular season by 7.2 minutes per game for him. He is everything that makes this whole engine go. Mm-hmm. He is their number one superstar. But Duren's the key. Duren versus Cleveland.
I agree.
Duren versus Cleveland in the regular season, almost 22 points a game, 12.3 boards, 2 assists per contest. He finally got going in Game 7, had 15 and 15. But don't get it twisted. My man was a no-show games 1 through 6.
Absolutely. Yes. Opta AI loves Thompson points, Thompson PRA over. They like Harris assists, and they like Harden threes tonight. They're also big on Luke Kennard, which I can't get there.
No,
I don't think Luke's going to get many looks, unless it's a blowout and they keep him in there, but it could be a blowout.
Not with Reeves back. It's super low. Dean Wade's probably going to get the assignment of guarding Cade Cunningham. Surprisingly, he scored a few points against Detroit this year. I kind of want to go under on his 9.5 PRA. It's so low. It's points, rebounds, and assists combined. It's 9.5, but I just think his assignment is defense, and if Cleveland needs an offensive jolt, Jalen Tyson off the bench, they'd like to use him on Cade as well. And if they need to score, if they're trailing in this one, and Detroit's the favorite, so if you correlate that, it should make sense. Tyson could get more minutes in the second half, and Dean Wade could go under all of his numbers.
So they just gave Bickerstaff the extension, and he's going against his former team. You rally down 3-1. You're down 24 in the third quarter of Game 6. And then I have a Cleveland team that knows. I mean, there are going to be massive changes if they can't win this series. And probably the head coach. And who knows who they trade. But you brought in Harden. Everyone thought it still might happen, that it would be Cleveland and the Knicks in the conference finals when all the injuries went down and Halliburton and Tatum. But this is, if you can't get to the conference finals here, I think there's going to be massive changes in Cleveland.
Yeah, but there were also a team that was down 10 in Game 7. So they played with their food a little bit here. And the slow start could be weird. I
needed that performance from Allen, too.
Yeah, and Allen is a dude that he's coming off maybe one of his best games of his career here. Mm-hmm. And against Detroit in the regular season, 25 minutes and 21 minutes. Wasn't on the floor very much in 2 of these games. 27-2, 25-9-4. The other games, 8-3 in 21 minutes, 25-9-4, as I mentioned. He's coming off 22-19. His PRA was like 21.5. That feels really low based on track record against the Pistons. And then what he just did to get them over the hump in Game 7. Yeah, it's 21.5, slightly juiced to the over at minus 118. I don't hate playing him over, but I think because the game is an under, I do want to find more under props if I'm going to add any more to what I've already bet.
Okay. And you can also bet at DraftKings second-round leaders in all the categories as well, in addition to every series and every game. SGA is minus 350 tonight, most points. But the way to attack this is props, because every game's going to be a blowout. You got a 16-point spread in the second round of a series.
But I've, as someone who bets player props every night in the NBA more than I bet sides and totals, Oklahoma City and the Miami Heat were probably 2 teams that it was very hard for me to figure out who was going to go off.
Okay.
Because there's something about the way they play as a unit and the chemistry. And for the Thunder, in the blowouts, you don't know who's staying on the floor, who's going to end up playing, and who they decide it's going to be their night.
Yeah, but how about what we were talking about during the break? To lead the series in threes, Mitchell. Almost 15-1.
I don't hate that because
he loves to shoot. Chuck, he's a total chucker, loves to shoot.
Because if the Lakers can actually hit their shots, we could look for some games with some more possessions than anticipated, right? Because they don't play any defense anyway. And if they can somehow keep the game close by hitting their shots, You could have A.J. Mitchell late in the fourth quarter knocking down. Is that guy not the greatest example of what makes the Thunder great? He went to Santa Barbara. I don't ever remember anyone hyping this guy up at any point in time. I don't remember him playing in any big tournaments or anything like that.
McCain, too.
Yeah, he develops in the G League, and now he's a key part of this team. I like 8 and under, by the way. I'm going 8.
Under what?
Under on his PRA tonight.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, okay. So,
well, the rebounds, and they got me good, but his rebounds the last 3 games of that Rocket series, I want to know if that continues. And his props tonight, he's one of the short shots for rebounds. But then again, that's why it could be difficult, because I would take out Holmgren and Hartenstein if you figure they're going to be up 30 in the third quarter.
No, that's true.
But then what does Redick do? That's the comeback.
The blowout would kill me here, but 8 and under, 18.5 PRA. So he was great against a soft Houston team.
Yes.
Over in 4 of 6. But I think this series is going to be totally different. He's got Hartenstein. He's got Holmgren down there, as you mentioned, to deal with. And can he stay on the floor? What if Oklahoma City's running? Is he going to be able to be a part of the action here? Because you go back and look against the Thunder this year, he didn't play a ton of minutes in some of these. 6-9, 16, and 12. He went under in all 4 games in the regular season. I'm just willing to believe that he isn't fit for a matchup with the Thunder with how they want to play. I also like the team total under on the Lakers, 98.5.
Yeah. LeBron's $1.60 to lead in assists. SGA plus 125, Reeves 16 to 1.
Ooh, LeBron to lead in assists. I don't hate that. I'm kind of vibing on that. I don't know what his shooting looks like in this series. I don't think he can attack the rim like he would want to. Reeves' points, rebounds, and assists is 30.5. That feels like a lot against this team. He had 32 and 20 in the 2 games against Houston. Against the Thunder this year, you have to remember that Luka was part of the equation.
Right.
20, 25, and 21. I feel like you're asking a lot of efficiency for a guard who's going to be focused on by this defense.
Hachimura played well against the Rockets, too. You could see, and he won. He cashed that ticket. Most threes in the Houston series.
I also don't hate laying it. OKC 7-4 against the spread since 2024 against the Lakers, 4-2 at Los Angeles. Lakers 15.5-point dogs game 1. Biggest spread of any game in LeBron James's career, regular season or playoffs.
That's no surprise. I'll some more numbers to share up next. Or even to think this could be the biggest upset in NBA history, if it would happen. And surreal piece of theater in Toronto. A very uncomfortable press conference. We'll play that coming up next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Well, the series price with OKC and the Lakers. Last week I mentioned it was up at DraftKings. OKC opened $9. It got up to $4,000, and now it's $1,600. And again, people bet what they want to see, and there's plenty of Laker fans, and the Lakers are 9-1 right now. They opened total games 5.5 under -190 at DraftKings. It's now 275. So I think this would be the biggest upset in NBA playoff history.
I'll go a step further. I don't want to put this out there in terms of I don't want this to happen. Let's live in a world where SGA nicks up his ankle and he takes a couple games off.
Yeah.
Let's say he was ruled out for the series. Could the Lakers beat them the way they are without Luka? Could they beat the Thunder in a 7-game series without SGA? I say no.
I know. That's still where I'm at because great job. You were a 5-1 dog and you got there against Houston. But it was more of an indictment of how well LeBron played, but also how bad Houston was. In the first 4 games, Houston got 66 more shots. LA had 22 more turnovers. They got killed on the boards, and they were sloppy with the ball. You do that against OKC, they're going to be up 30 early in these games.
Also,
and that's what happened even when Luka played. They were outscored by 56 points in the 59 minutes that Luka played. Again, 4-0 in the regular season, average margin 29 a game.
And the Lakers are not built to come back from down. Like we saw Cleveland do that. Cleveland can do that because they shoot the three well, right? That's something that they're able to do. Lakers were bottom 10 in the league in three shot. They did shoot it at a 36% rate. That's solid, but they don't shoot a ton of threes, and I don't know if they're really ready for that style. If they're down 15-20 and they just start chucking it up, it's not going to end well for them. So we'll see how that goes. Do you look back on the Houston series, and when it comes to the coaches, do you say Ime Udoka just completely botched this whole thing, or do you give credit to Redick? Because I got to tell you, the more I watch Redick, the better he looks as a coach to me. It seems like he does have an idea of what he's doing, and he mixes things up from time to time.
I think a little bit of both. I think they don't have a strategy. They didn't have a strategy. They didn't run set plays. They would play throw the grenade to me with 5-6 seconds left on the shot clock. They didn't have Durant to bail them out, and that's how it looked, considering you had so many more offensive rebounds and looks, and you lost to this team. But Redick did a good job as well. What is your trust factor? We talked about, we ranked the East yesterday. How about the coaches? Because this is difficult. I get a lot of respect for Finch. Daigneault, I think, has got to be number one.
Without a doubt.
Mike Brown has made some great adjustments since they were down 2-1 against Atlanta. Ooh. But then what do I do where Bickerstaff was let go in Cleveland? A lot of questions about Johnson just because he's new. And it was his first playoff game, and that Atkinson, hot seat. And
Nick Nurse is a champion.
I know. We get Redick a pass. But I thought Redick did a great job in his first series.
I think it's Daigneault with a bullet. He's number one. It has nothing to do with X's and O's. It's the culture. The culture in Oklahoma City is unique. These guys actually like each other. There's no drama. They all do the interviews after the game with each other. They're pretty unselfish. I think a lot of guys in that lineup, they could be in the SGA role in the fourth quarter if they needed to be, but they're willing to acquiesce, let him be that go-to guy and put up these numbers to get to the charity stripe. Then to me, number two is Finch. I think Finch is a difference-making head coach. Whatever he's doing, he's had to really resort to a bunch of different ways to make it work just during this playoff run alone, and he's done it. And we're finding out that was a team that did not care about the regular season at all because they've been completely different since we got to the playoffs. That's 1 and 2.
Yep.
I don't trust Brown like you do, though. Mike Brown, he played his bench. They did good. They did well.
I
know, but you get to be the opposite of Tibbs. You just rest your guys more. That's all you do. I don't know if he's an inspiring coach. There's a reason why he's the John Tortorella of NBA coaches.
They have a nice edge there with the Sixers bench in this series as well. And adjusted series price, Knicks minus 450. That goes back to the discussion we had yesterday about the regular season doesn't matter. Because Finch would get so mad at the guys in the regular. They lost to the Kings. And they were up 9 with a minute. And they get so mad, he goes, Coach, don't worry. Wait till it's the playoffs. And then here it is, right? Yeah, they do. It's like they screwed around the whole time.
What about Bickerstaff? Because I want more explanations how you were down 3-1 to Orlando that was about to fire their head coach.
I know.
Do you believe the conspiracy that Orlando intentionally lost to Philly in the play-in to avoid Boston, then face Charlotte, because beating Charlotte, you wind up taking on Detroit, not Boston, in the first round? I don't think Orlando is capable.
If they didn't have the Celtics performance on the Sunday, I would say I could buy into that. I could get there. But, yeah. The OKC minus 1.5 games is minus $7, and then minus 2.5 is minus 320. These are just numbers you're never going to see again.
No, I mean,
this is incredible what these numbers are, and so the double to win Game 1 tonight and win the series is minus $6.
If LeBron pushes this to 7 games, is it the most impressive thing he's done in his career aside from a title?
I think it'd be up there.
It would be.
Yes. With these guys. The other thing, too, with the Stanley Cup tonight, Game 2. Were you going to say something with anything else on the game?
I was going to give you trends real quick.
The Laker team total. So that's a great look for the Laker team total.
I like the team total under. Yep. OKC 7-4 against the spread against the Lakers since 24. 4-2 in LA, as I mentioned. Redick 2-0 to the under for him in the first game of a playoff series. I believe that's what that is. And then Redick, he is 2-9 against the spread and 7-4 to the over. Road total 210s. But here's what I like: Dagnall, 29-14 covering as a home favorite of 12.5 to 18. He covers the big numbers.
Before we get to Game 2 tonight in the snowstorm in Denver, we talked to the Golden Muzzy, Nick Alberga, earlier on the show. And this was the press conference the other day in Toronto as they introduced the new GM. And this is the first question from Steve Simmons with the media. This is how it went.
Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun, for Keith. You talk about the due diligence that you did on John prior to hiring him and now hiring him. In the past, say, 3 to 4 days, I have been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring, and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion that I was able to come to in a very short time?
I must have talked to different people.
That's it? Because I'm telling you, the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
And your response to that?
Is we've conducted due diligence, and it was deep due diligence. It was a thorough process, and I'm quite happy with where we've landed.
He wasn't working for 6 years. And he was also suspended in the issues he had in Arizona. You know, I saw Bissonnette. He goes, I'm out. I'm done with the franchise. I'm out.
Oh, one, it feels like that's...
But this goes back to what Vegas is a contender every year. You haven't won a cup since 67.
Yeah, but doesn't it just feel like someone in the media wants to have their moment to say, I got you, I could have hired someone better than you? It's just a weird approach, especially when you're supposed to develop a relationship with the guy who's now running the team.
He also could have said the Toronto Maple Leafs shouldn't go cheap. That's the other thing. You sell out every game.
That's
and the tickets,
fair.
The tickets are outrageous, but it's just a bizarre hire. But tonight, players and coaches, both teams have said do not expect a repeat of Game 1 when it was 9-6 in the highest scoring playoff game since 1994, tied for the 5th highest all time. Goaltender changed with Gustafsson in, but you can still go over 9.5, 7-1.
You might talk me into this.
Yeah, you can go over 5.5. Here's where I'm at, though, because it's like, we break downs all this. The goaltending wasn't bad. The goals were legit. There weren't a lot of softies, and there were only 2 power play goals. Maybe sometimes it's just so much firepower. And the last time it happened, which I said was 94, it was the L.A. Kings with Gretzky over the Calgary Flames. The whole series was like that.
You might be onto something.
6-4 isn't crazy tonight.
My initial thought was go under just because there has to be a focus on defense, but the idea that there's just too many guys that can find the back of the net on the ice, I think that has some credence here in this series. It's such an absurd score in Game 1 that you just have to believe that could potentially continue throughout this thing. That's just the identity of these teams. They are just good scoring teams that can get up and down the rink.
Yeah, over 5.5 is minus 190 as well. The alts.
Would you consider Minnesota plus 170? Do you think they have enough?
I love this Colorado team. But if Golden Muzzy thinks these teams are 1-2 and there's a big drop-off between everyone else. I mentioned that earlier, too. At Caesars, Carolina adjusted series price was minus 5,000. I mean, they did what they were expected to do. They won the first 2 games at home. And the Flyers outplayed them in overtime. It's not – I think we're getting carried away with that price, too, even though Carolina hasn't lost. But Philly blew the 2-goal lead as well.
How about they adjust first period under, but game goes over still? Parlay that. They're able to hold each other off. They can make the adjustments.
That's not bad.
Because it's not correlated. It could probably pay out pretty nicely.
Yes. Derek Stevens, owner of Circa, up next. How was the Derby? Did they have an increase with the handle because you couldn't bet it in prediction markets? Coming up on Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, every time this week, the owner of Circa, the D in Golden Gate, Derek Stevens, joins us now. And don't forget, it's the most underrated spot in town. Get that penthouse or get that suite at the Golden Gate. Perfect. Well, the TVs. You got your own barbecue out there as well. But thanks for coming in. We're getting down to it now because the schedule release is coming up in a few weeks. You'll have the contest ready to go. It's go time now, my friend.
That's true. You know, we're planning on coming in here with you and Mitch on, I think it's 2 weeks from today, May 19th. By then, we'll have figured out what we're doing for next year. We're still cooking up a few things, but we're getting close.
All right. Thank you.
How long does it take for you to build? Because you always come in with the giant calendar of every single week. From the time the schedules get put out, what's the process like to get that thing made?
We'll get one pretty quickly. Because I got to print it out quick because I got to start, having it hanging around my office, looking at it all the time. It takes a little while to start digesting that whole schedule.
A great result as a fan last night, but a bad result for the book. How about, it was right in front of you, how about the Marner empty net goal with 6 seconds to cover the puck line with the flip that goes in the length of the ice?
Wasn't that amazing?
Oh, stunning.
God, if that thing misses the goal, you got to face off deep in the zone again. No, that was amazing. The crew I was with Nicole, I was with Bill 80. Bill 80 was right there. And we took that video that's up on my X account now. And Marner just flipped it in. You could just see that. You just saw it coming in. It was like a field goal. It was coming straight in, bounces around, little puck luck goes straight in. It was pretty amazing.
Hey, those Circa seats are sick. They are sick right behind the net. We're going to have it up here in a few seconds, Luke said. I'm watching it on at Derek J. Stevens right now. I'm curious. Colorado was the favorite in the West for so long. Did you guys have a lot of liability on them?
We're in pretty good shape with Colorado. We're actually in pretty good shape in a lot of hockey. We had to get rid of the Penguins. That's what.
That was big.
That was our biggest concern.
Flyers a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but Penguins we had to get rid of. But no, we're in pretty good shape here on NHL. We do well to the Knights actually. So.
I thought Hart was great last night.
He actually, it was interesting. Your old goal. He played a lot different last night. We got to watch him.
More aggressive coming out?
No. He didn't get caught too far away from the net too often. We were going crazy in game 1 of the first round. He was way out toward the corner many times and barely got back in time. He stayed a little closer.
Okay.
It was I thought he played differently, but he played terrific.
What's the playoff atmosphere like there at T-Mobile? Because you're a Detroit guy. You saw Hockey Town. You saw that run. You obviously saw the Pistons do what they've done. How's the VGK experience for I've been there for a regular season. It's off the charts. But do you feel the energy for a playoff game?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty good. This every year it's a little different. You get a little different feel. This was a pretty good feel last round. Pretty good feel this round. I would say like Anaheim. There's no rivalry here. So there's a lot of young guys, not a lot of big names, not a lot of Anaheim people there either. The ones that were there stood out wearing all orange, but it would have been a little bit different if they'd have been playing Edmonton for sure.
Yeah. I think you said it, though, or maybe Stormy, that we'll develop something here with Utah, though.
Yeah, I think the Utah rivalry is going to be something going forward.
Yes, and that great marketing that they did drop off the jerseys at Vegas and get a new Utah jersey. Colorado-Vegas would be a great conference final, and I think that'd be high scoring. Do you think we'll get another, something similar to Game 1, 9-6, with what happened with Colorado and Minnesota?
It could be. I mean, what I thought, the round 1 against Utah, real chippy to start with, real physical. They mixed up the lineup. They brought Carlson in. They brought Carlson back. He got a standing O when he finally got on the ice. So interesting. Styles make lineups here. So I guess we'll see how. I think the Golden Knights might mix up their lineup a little bit for tomorrow too. So we'll see.
Tell me if this hot take has any merit. I would say coming to the sports book in the spring. Right now, though, when you've got the crossover with the NBA playoffs, with the Stanley Cup playoffs, plus you have Major League Baseball games, this is the better time to come to Circa, watch games in the sports book all day than it is during football season.
There's all these great times. You got this time period, like the end of February, beginning of March. You got conference tournaments is unbelievable. Then March Madness time frame. Then baseball starts up, and then you got hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs. There's a lot of good times. I would say spring's a pretty good time to be here in Vegas.
But here's what I would point out. Because I'm 41 years old, I feel like I'm 75 because I have to figure out how to get every game on my TV. You guys do it for me, and you move it around when things matter, so I don't have to worry about my logins when I come here.
I'll tell you what, you're not kidding. Pauly and I, we've talked about this a lot. This travesty in America we were complaining about 10 years ago is getting worse. It's just getting worse. People can't find... Now with everything streaming, what are you supposed to do at an airport? You know, you think the bartender is going to figure out how to get the Paramount Plus game or something? It's not possible.
Here's my $1 billion idea. You can back it financially. I just have the idea. I don't know how to actually execute it. It's an app. You feed it all of your logins for everything. So you don't have to log in ever again, but you log into this app and it only pulls up the live sports. There's no other TV. It's just live sports. Whatever your Peacock, your YouTube, your ESPN, it automatically goes there. And if you pay for it, it will show up as an option to watch in this app. Can we make billions?
Man, if they could have ever figured out how to bundle this,
call it cable.
Oh yeah, God, it would have been great. Would have been great.
Yeah.
New and improved, right?
You couldn't bet the prediction. You couldn't bet the Derby at the prediction markets, and then one of the major books went down day of the Derby, if you can imagine that. How was the handle here? And as Dustin said before, I don't know one person who had the winning horse.
Handle was up a little bit on Friday. It was down a little bit Saturday. It was nothing much to it. What I would say though is the Kentucky Derby continues to be a retail event. Sold out here in the sports book. Upstairs for the Kentucky Derby party. Holy smokes, Pauly. What an event that was. Everybody's dressed up. I mean, they're dressed up like all the celebrities on TV, the hat contest, everybody's dressed up beautifully. And it's a retail event. People enjoy it. It's part of American culture. I think there's a lot less interest. I think Jeff Benson and I are going to talk about that. We play the feed associated with the exactas, trifectas, and things like that. Yeah, that's not really our market. They all want to watch NBC. They want to see what all the celebrities are wearing.
Okay,
so that's kind of what's selling here.
Good.
For what it's worth. We're definitely not a race book.
How you feel about your Pistons? And these are some great second round matchups here.
Down 3-1, comeback. That comeback at Game 6 is unbelievable. Game 7, they kind of just took it to them, and it should be very interesting. Cleveland, this is going to be a heck of a matchup here, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Pistons looking all right now. I love this Jenkins kid.
He is good.
As long as he can hit shots, they have a chance.
He was great down the stretch. Yes.
Took him a little.
Concerned about your Tigers?
Well, this is not an optimal situation to have your ace go down like that. Hopefully, it's not too bad. But it definitely changes the dynamics because now the thought... what happens? Let's just say the Tigers are, let's say, 10 games out at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And Scooble's not back yet. Or he's just going to come back. What do? I mean... You might be out of it. You're gonna get nothing for him then. So I don't know. It makes this time period the Tigers are playing without him that much more important. Obviously, how long he's out that's gonna be a big thing, and then how he comes back. But
what did Schilling say?
Schilling said he had loose bodies in his elbow many times, 17 days. That's what. But that's in the old days, and I'm not really quite sure what Schilling says exactly how the truth behind it, but.
Unless he's under oath. That's good. He has a chance to rat on his peers.
Right, because you saw what happened with Edwards. I mean, if this is a 2 to 3 month injury, but then again, if Schilling says it was only out 17 days, maybe they can hold it down then. But I'm with you. You can't have Ohtani part 2 here.
Yeah.
If you're out of it, you got to get something for him.
Say, hey, what's McGonigal for this MVP? This story, McGonigal doesn't want rookie. What's that at?
Oh, he's probably a big fat number right now, but he's killing the baseball. I mean, that the way he kicks his leg, it's almost like a Japanese leg kick. Let's see, McGonigal. I don't even see him listed.
I mean, it's a ridiculous thing, but the way I realize he's a rookie. I mean, rookies have a tendency not to perform the same in August and September. Once everybody figures it out. But boy, oh boy, he's looked good.
Great numbers, yes. And the kid in Chicago, too.
Oh, Murakami.
What's the price on those guys?
Murakami for MVP is it just went off on me. Come on, refresh. Murakami.
Or Rookie of the Year, too.
Well, Rookie of the Year, he is the favorite. You know what? Because game started, they just took everything off the board.
Fair enough.
we go.
Fair enough. Good to see
guys,
you.
good to see you.
Appreciate you.
2 weeks from now, we're announcing.
You can't wait. Looking forward to it in 2 weeks. And also check out the video of the Marner goal that replayed. We just showed. It's up on his Twitter as well. What we're betting coming up next.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
So we had a guest on earlier that said Colorado the best, then Minnesota, and there's a big drop-off. I can tell you this. If Frederick Anderson continues to play like this, Carolina can win the whole thing. He's been unbelievable. And it was a poor rebound that he gave up to start the game, and Carolina got caught coming out flat yesterday. 2-0 4 minutes in. Flyers don't score the rest of the game. 1 of 7 on the power play. This Carolina kill is phenomenal. I think 1 of 7 and only 2 shots. They win 3-2. Hall gets the goal. Under 6 again, the alt winner. And game 3, Thursday, 5.5. Under minus 130. I just don't see how the Flyers, they're going to have to win 2-1 or 1-0 in these games. Man City to win the Prim. We're in trouble. Bad draw last night against Everton, and lucky to get the draw. It's right there for Arsenal. Arsenal beat Atletico Madrid earlier. They're in the Champions League final. Munich, PSG, by the way, over 3.5, minus 190 tomorrow. Tottenham to stay up. That has now moved big time, as they got the big win over Aston Villa over the weekend. West Ham, the favorite to be relegated. T-Wolves plus 1.5 games, minus 180. Also, we didn't have time with Pizzeria. There are people a couple days ago who got exactas. Wolves, Knicks, Wolves, 1,000 to 1. This is incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The whole thinking was he might be back for game 3, likely game 4, okay, but he's compromised. And then he doesn't miss a game, and then they steal game 1. I mean, 13 to 1 to plus 160 now. Series price on the T-Wolves.
By the way, Toronto up 1-0 on Tampa. Okamoto with another home run.
Okay, that's a surprise. The stuff that continues to cash night in, night out. Cat over assists. Stankoven over shots on goal, 2.5. Carolina unders. And Paul George props. Points and threes. Another winner last night, Stankoven. No, Stank? You Stank. Luke, I texted you. Coming right back with Stankoven over shots on goal. He's 6-0 to the over. That's Thursday. Under 6, minus 170. Towns over assists, 4.5. This is real, and it's spectacular with him playing more as a point center and a facilitator. He averaged whole career 3 assists a game. Now we're at 42 assists the last 4 games, and he had 6 in the last game last night. He was in foul trouble, and it was a blowout, and he hardly played in 20 minutes. The gift that keeps on giving. Good luck, everyone.
All right, I guess what are we going to do? Recap mine. It was not fun last night. Let's see. T-Wolves under, that got home. Under on Brunson assist, that got home. I still say Anunoby Bridges, they get there if they play the fourth quarter. They were right on the edge.
Yep.
Castle had 5 rebounds. It was Fox over 17.5 points. That was a big fat loser. But Castle, we had over 5.5 rebounds. He had 5 at halftime. He didn't go over.
No.
Gobert over 1.5 dimes. That gets home. And unfortunately, Randall was awesome down the stretch. My under on him did not cash for that. In terms of baseball, Braves blew the lead late in that one, plus $1.40. White Sox a plus price winner. Cardinals Brewers goes over in the ninth with a 3-run home run, I believe it was, and then Schlittler bad, and then all the hitting props were terrible. I was running hot, so I took some shots on some home run props at big prices. Unfortunately, we are back down to earth as far as those are concerned. For tonight, what I'm looking at here, let us begin in Major League Baseball. Dodgers first 5 minus a half run. Ohtani on the bump. He's not hitting. I don't think Lambert does much against him, against the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are able to score enough runs. They'll cash this in the first 5. I'm on the Twinkies, minus 105 against Washington. Cavalli's been good lately, but Taj Bradley, I feel like people aren't realizing this guy's finding his form here, given up by Tampa Bay. And last time he saw Washington, he had 11 strikeouts against them a couple years ago. I love the way he looks this season. I think their lineup is a little bit better. I think that they win on the road in D.C. The Guardians minus $1.20. Give me Gavin Williams all day long. I think he's live for Cy Young. Against Kansas City back on April 7th, 5 2/3, 1 earned. He did have 5 walks, but he had 8 strikeouts. I think Cleveland's the right side there. D-backs Pirates over 9. Pittsburgh good against lefties this year, and Eduardo Rodriguez, Bubba Chandler, I think they both struggle. And then for the NBA, Lakers team total under 98.5.
Love it.
I just don't see them scoring consistently against the Thunder. SGA over 11.5 rebounds and assists against the Lakers. He had 14, 14, and 9 this year, over in half the games against Phoenix. The only concern I have is late in the game. He may not be able to add to this if it's a blowout win. And then Ayton under 18.5 PRA. I'm just not sure if he's built for the style of fight that OKC plays with.
Well, if you got killed on the boards against the Rockets,
yeah,
and now it's Chet and Hartenstein, oh boy.
No putbacks. Speaking of rebounds, Jalen Duren. He gets right. They need him. He's had some monster games against the Cleveland Cavaliers, 14-6, and then had 7 in just 20 minutes earlier this year. He's coming off 15 boards in Game 7. Give me over 10.5 rebounds for Jalen Duren. Donovan Mitchell under 8.5 rebounds and assists. Under in 5 of 7 in round 1 versus Detroit. He's split going over and under in the regular season. His assists are way down on the road, and I don't see him being a factor in the rebounding. And then finally, I'm on the game under, 216. Yep. You go back, last 12 meetings, 9-3 to the under between Detroit and Cleveland.
Going to be big from 3 this whole series. Team that doesn't shoot it well and doesn't shoot it at all against a team that loves to shoot threes and will succeed this success if the Cavs can have it, determine it as well. But it's going to be a great matchup with the physicality of Detroit and bombs away with the Cavs.
And I can't wait to make fun of James Harden tomorrow.
Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all of it documented. Logs posted publicly, sharpplays.com. When they move, the books take notice. Advanced AI, trusted insider intel, gathering info from over 500 bettors and sources worldwide at all sports, pushed right to subscribers in real time, respected, watched, and feared. They find the value before the numbers shift. Start winning with them, sharpplays.com, and love the daily tweets with Mr. Poison and what he's on. Alerts directly from the pros, sharpplays.com. This is a great series coming up. And I think if Cleveland goes down, there's going to be massive changes.
Oh.
It could start with Atkinson, too.
Oh, no, he's number 1. They've invested too much to bring in Harden, to add all these pieces, to lock up some of these guys long-term. They're deep. They're loaded. There's no reason they shouldn't be the best team in the East, but they're not the favorites in this series for a reason. Detroit's got something.
Isn't that something?
It doesn't. If you go player for player, if you were drafting everyone in this series, who's your first pick out of all the players in the Cavs and Pistons? Is it Cade? Is it Mitchell?
I'd have to go Cade because of Mitchell's issues in the playoffs.
Okay, how many are you drafting before you get to the next Piston? Harden, Mitchell, Mobley?
Yeah.
Allen?
Yeah.
Then Tobias?
Should be Duren, but...
or Duren.
But I know, but I can't... I don't know if I can count on him.
The only thing I'll say is it was weird that he had to play last series against the guy who's dating his ex-girlfriend. Right. That's weird.
Well, we just did this with Orlando. You'd get to 5 Orlando before you get to 3 Detroit.
Yes.
That's why it's so funky.
But
they're a 1 seed, but it was, they went hard after it and in a great regular season team. But then you're down 3-1 and you should have been eliminated in Game 6. But in any event, it's funny how it was Cavs to win the East as the favorites much of the year. And then, oh, my God, they should have lost to Toronto. And they had 2 starters out. We have to downgrade.
Yeah, I mean, And also, Game 7 wasn't very inspiring. I know they ended up winning and they ran away with it. But that first half, I didn't know what I was watching. And here's the thing. Harden was so lackadaisical with passing the basketball in round 1. You can't do that against these Pistons. You have to be precise. You have to be on it. This isn't just one game out of 82. It's the playoffs. Things are ramped up, and he just never treats it any differently.
Never lead the series and win. Detroit 12-1, Cavs 10-1. Detroit just did that. Undefeated at home. Pistons plus 270, Cavs 2-1.
If I were to tell you in the East, Cleveland, Detroit goes 7, or Philly and the Knicks go 7, which one do you think is more likely to go 7?
Oh, after watching last night, I would say this one.
Yeah, but I think last night
they let go of the rope and pulled people, but still, the run the Knicks are tomorrow's fascinating because it's they 4 straight blowouts, NBA history, 3 in a row, 25 plus. What does tomorrow look like? Did the Sixers respond? Because the Knicks are on a roll right now.
I'm a Knicks fan. I have 15-1 to win the title. I'm not bragging. I could have gotten 20-1 like 2 weeks ago on them. I'll tell you this: every time I've believed, they have knocked me down. So I love Philadelphia in Game 2 plus 7.5.
All right, great job. Good to see you.
Fun times,
man. Yep, Mitch back tomorrow. Keep it right here on VSiN. VSiN Prime Time up next. Tim Murray and Femi. Jeff Sherman's on. Matt Grill from DraftKings. And all the in-play action and all the playoff action as well. And start your day tomorrow morning. Buy the books at 7 a.m. and Numbers Game with Gil Alexander at 10. Wes Reynolds tomorrow to talk golf. Sean McDonough, playoff hockey, and also Mike Palm. Cash some tickets. Good luck. Thanks to the crew.